What's going on, guys, and welcome to today's video. And today we are back in the garage with the TRX, and we are going to be addressing one of the issues that we talked about in a previous video, and that is getting the MOPAR side steps installed, which are going to prevent rock chips on the bedsides and down the rockers. Because with the big, huge, wide stance on Raptors and TRXs and other desert trucks, you are going to have rocks flinging up off the tires, hitting all down the rockers. And then where you have the big, wide bedside, you're going to just annihilate that leading edge with rocks. So the side steps will take care of that issue. And then kind of an added benefit, they will also help to protect the seats, because people won't be sliding in and out of the seats. They can have something to step on and hopefully prevent some of that outside seat bolster from just getting destroyed with people sliding in and out, since it is a big, tall truck. So that brings us down to the side steps, and these are the MOPAR factory option cast running boards. Now these things are pretty cool because they are cast aluminum, so they aren't massively heavy. At least they aren't some big heavy steel things. They are aluminum, so you know they aren't going to rust. Now I guess they could corrode, but they're kind of covered with a cool bed liner Line-X textured material, so it kind of goes with the theme of the truck and it looks good. Now I previously have never been a big fan of side steps. It makes the truck look lower since they do hang down below the rocker of the truck. But after off-roading this thing for a little bit of time, I've found a few rock chips already happening there on the bedside, so I knew I just needed to do it, and that's what we're doing today. But I can't just put something on normally. I can't just follow the instructions and bolt it on, because if you bolt these on, and this is not just TRX specific, this is any 5th gen RAM 1500, these steps are going to sit about a 1/2 to 3/4 inch low of the rocker. So that leads me to what I am wanting to do. And I guess we can run over to the other side of the truck real quick, and I've actually got one done. I'll show you what that looks like, and then I'll show you what I did to achieve that. So guys, here is the finished product. And before, you could fit your whole hand in between the rocker panel and the side step because there was a pretty large gap. But now, as we can see down here where we've got a little more light, there is considerably less gap, and we gain back a little bit of ground clearance that we would have lost if this was another 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch lower to the ground. And to me, they look a little more finished or better, or whatever word you want to use. It looks a little more custom that they are tucked really, really close to the body. But I still do have just a slight gap, so hopefully I won't be just catching rocks in between the step and the body and causing any rubbing, whatever. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that as we go play off-road and see how the dirt collects in there. All right, guys, now I will show you how the brackets are modified, and all we're doing is just re-drilling some new holes further down the bracket, so the bracket has to bolt on higher. So guys, here are the factory brackets. Now there are some nice little plastic covers that go over the brackets before you put the step on, but this is just the bare bracket, and there are the holes on the back side as it comes out of the box. And here is my modified bracket. Now, as we can see, obviously here, I've got additional holes lower on the bracket, which moves the bracket up when you mount it. And there was no specific exact measurement that I used. I just put the brackets up, measured that gap that I had between the side step, and knew I needed to move the holes roughly that much further down. Now I did kind of wallow and egg shape those holes out so the bracket would have some adjustment room, because I knew I couldn't just drill them perfectly and have everything line up. So like I said, I made the holes larger than I needed to so I could have a little bit of movement and a little bit of play in those brackets. So once the board's on there, I could kind of adjust and move up or down as I needed to get that gap right where I wanted. So I've got the other side done. This side I've got 2 out of the 3 brackets drilled. So I'm going to drill this last bracket and then we will bolt them on there and see how the final product looks on this side. So it is a little bit of a pain drilling a bunch of holes in these brackets, but I think the result is worth it in the end because it does move them up a little bit more. So let me get over and start drilling these things. One thing I did do, I threw a little bit of black spray paint in the holes just so they wouldn't rust, water wouldn't get in there, whatever. Just a little bit of dab of paint and then bolted them on. So like I said, I'm gonna get over there and drill. We'll get the last bracket done, bolt the step on, and kind of get our final thoughts on this high clearance side step mod. All right guys, I've got that last bracket drilled, and like I said, I kind of wallowed the hole out a little bit just to give me a little extra movement, and then sprayed a little bit of black paint on both sides just to keep the bare metal protected so it wouldn't rust. So I'll get them bolted on, and it's pretty easy. You've just got some 13mm nuts on the back side that go onto some threaded studs on the body that are already there. And then you'll set your step on there, and it's a couple of 10mm bolts, 4 on each bracket. And then you can kind of do your final adjustment and tighten everything down. All right guys, so we got all the bolts in. Now, this may take some kind of fiddling, and you may have to fit the brackets, maybe kind of move the holes, enlarge the holes to get your spacing right. If you're too close to the body or if you're too far away, you may have to kind of enlarge those holes a little more to get the spacing perfect. So yes, it is a little bit of a pain drilling, installing, removing, but to me, it looks a lot better having that 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch gap removed and having that side step nice, close, and tucked up to the body. And it makes me feel a little less bad about putting side steps on my truck, which I didn't really plan on running since I like the look without any side steps. But after being under the truck, bolting those on, I found even more rock chips on the rocker panels. So the side steps were definitely due. Like them or not, they're going to save the truck, save the bedside, save the paint. So they're definitely needed for a desert, off-road, high-speed, fast truck. So they're on now, and they'll be there, and they're gonna protect the paint. So guys, here's that final kind of look. You can see just that little bit of gap poking in between. But I don't know, I think it just looks a lot nicer with that side step tucked up nice and close. It just makes it look a little more finished, a little more correct, like it's supposed to be there. Hopefully if you were thinking about adding side steps or planning on it, or maybe you've already got them on your truck, this is kind of a free, I don't want to say easy mod since it involves a lot of drilling and laying under the truck and fitting and test fitting and re-drilling and then painting, but it is free and you can get a little bit more ground clearance under the truck, or at least at the rocker area, and make the truck look a little bit taller on the side. Of course, you know, we just can't install something. We've got to modify it before it goes on the truck. Thanks for sticking around and seeing the final product. And guys, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time.